In 1940, Hitler ordered the construction of a huge military headquarters in this forest, which was to be his base for over 800 days of World War II. From this location in what is now northeast Poland, he hoped to conduct a swift and successful takeover of Russia. The base contained massive reinforced concrete bunkers surrounded by barbed wire fences and landmines, all to protect the Führer. Join me as we explore what remains of Hitler's eastern headquarters, the Wolf's Lair. The Wolf's Lair had 3 zones of increasing security, with Hitler's bunker being in the most highly guarded Security Zone 1. There it is right there, and it had ceilings 8 metres thick to protect it from the most destructive enemy bombs. With such an overbearing security presence all around, Alfred Jodl, Chief of the Armed Forces Operations Staff, described the base as a cross between a monastery and a concentration camp. Hey, what are you doing in there? I think this is a machine gun nest. The site's location was chosen strategically, with lakes to the east for defence against the Russians and a forest setting for camouflage. The Germans even hired a landscaping firm from Stuttgart to add camouflage nets, fake trees, and even add moss onto the roofs of the bunkers. Wilhelm Keitel, the commander of the armed forces, described the camouflage like this: "I've often flown over the site at various altitudes, but despite my precise knowledge of its location, was never able to pinpoint it from the air." I'll tell you what though, visiting this site has creeped me out at certain points, considering that I've been stepping in the same places that Nazi leaders would have been stepping just over 80 years ago. And there's lots of weird sounds with wind going through the trees, water dripping inside the bunkers, and then unknown noises coming from the basements. Let's take a quick look underneath Göring's house. It's pretty wet and slightly frozen. Yeah, it looks flooded. And there's a beer bottle. For those living in the wolf's lair, life was challenging, with freezing cold winters in dark, damp bunkers like this one here, with no windows, and then warm summers with the air full of mosquitoes. The guards took to wearing mosquito nets. Helmut Greiner, who was responsible for the war diary for the Germans, put it like this: "We're being plagued by the most awful mosquitoes. Our bunkers are cold and damp. We freeze to death at night, can't get to sleep because of the humming of the air conditioning and the terrible draft it makes. And we wake up every morning with a headache." In 1944, with the Russians fast advancing from the east, Hitler was forced to leave the Wolf's Lair for the last time on November the 20th, from this train station right here all the way to Berlin. 2 months later, records were destroyed and almost all the buildings and bunkers were blown up with huge amounts of explosives. What remains is testament to the power that the Third Reich once possessed, to Hitler's growing isolation and detachment from reality, and to the eventual downfall of the whole regime. This was trip number 3 of 25. I'm challenging myself to visit 25 locations to make 25 videos in just 25 weeks. To follow my journey, subscribe to this YouTube channel or visit just25weeks.com.